Jesse, you good? All right, here we go.
Yep. Let me know when we're good.
Live.
Let me know when we're live.
We are live.
All right, cool. What's going on, everyone? Right. This is Kotetsu here, and you guys are here at the Gamerz Room. Episode 61. We have episode 62 next week, and then 63, and then 64. We're going to keep on going from there. But anyway, you guys see the topic here. We're going to be talking about content creation and why we even do it. But before we get into that, let's introduce the rest of the crew. We have QA here with us again, which is awesome to have him here.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for having me. I'm glad I was able to join today.
We have Chichuki here with us.
Yo, what's up, everybody?
Awaken. Say hello to the crowd.
Hello, crowd. Happy to be here.
And our formerly known Mr. Switch, now CHRONOZ, is here with us.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
And we have an awesome special guest here, BLACKPKMNTRAINER. Say hello.
What's going on, everybody?
I feel like I'm just telling everyone to say hello. I'm just like, say hello, say hi, say hi. Like you guys aren't going to do that anyway. So yeah, so today you guys see the topic we're talking about. We're going to talk about just content creation in general. You know, what our struggles, what we think content creation is, and what it means to us. You know, whoever, you know, has something or wants to start off, you know, how they got started, briefly, we can kind of get through everybody. So, you know, whoever wants to take that first, go first. You guys feel free.
What content creation means to me. It's more of the art of it. I don't know what exactly my end game is, which I don't know what that says about me, but it's the creation of the art, the overlays, you know, taking an hour or 2 hours of footage and breaking it down into a 30-minute video with effects that makes it look good and people like it, you know. That makes me feel good, you know. So if people like it and people watch it, then that makes me feel even better. But it's the process, you know. A lot of people tell me, they're like, oh, I like, you know, making YouTube videos, you know, I like streaming, but it's the editing that gets me. It's like, oh, I don't want to do any of that. And if you look at a lot of your major YouTubers, they do have editors that, you know, a third party. But that's one of my favorite parts of content creation is the process of, you know, taking the just the garbage that we spill, not us, but, you know, all of us in general, and turning it into something that looks a little bit more like gold. You know, sometimes it hits, sometimes it doesn't, but it, you know, that's the important part to me.
I get that. I like editing too, because it does feel like you have your own hand in it, and then no one else can see your vision than you know. So when you having a third party is more of like, okay, I don't have time, but it's like you said, you know, trying to make what we have into at least something gold, so then it can, you know, take off. But I get that 100%.
Yeah, something that doesn't make sense and turn it into something that makes sense sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, I can piggyback off of that. Like, I think when I see a content creator, like a YouTuber, for example, and they're putting out a video, and you can see there's a lot of like special effects or a lot of things that went into making that video. I think I have a greater appreciation for some of the work they do, because it's like, man, I know it takes a long time to put together, like to crunch maybe a half hour worth of footage into like a 5-minute, 8-minute video. So when I see a content creator do almost an hour worth of work for a video, and it's all edited from start to finish, and they're doing it all by themselves, it's impressive. It's a work of, I guess a labor of love, I guess, so to speak. I find it's a lot of fun, but it's like sometimes it takes, you know, if you're like really anal, sometimes you're like kind of nitpicking stuff. Like, I use Filmora 9, so I think that's a pretty easy platform to use. for like beginners. I tried to mess with Adobe Premiere Pro, but I couldn't get into it. It just took me forever to edit. It's just not very user friendly. I mean, for me
feels
anyway.
too complicated. Yeah, I feel the same way. That's why I went to Filmora 9. It's cheaper. It's like it's a game. So it's like if I don't want a game today, I'm just gonna buy this. So that's how I felt too. Yeah, I tried to use Adobe Premiere, and like you said, it's too many bells and whistles. So I just want to do this, and this, and that's it.
Yeah.
And they make you go through all this stuff. But Filmora is like, hey, you want to cut? Here's a cut button. If you want to do this, here's this. Oh, you want to, transition your audio or source, just right click, do that, and it's super easy. That's I recommend everyone to Filmora 9. It's a recommended thing to use if you want to just beginners who want to be able to use that.
It's fun and it's uncomplicated. One thing that I think would be a really cool experiment that we're on, content creation, is take the same hour or two of footage, like the exact same, and give it to all 6 of us, and then just say, edit this down into a 30-minute video and see how different all 6 of them are.
That'd be awesome. Actually.
That'd be cool. Everyone has their own editing style.
Awesome.
That'd be cool.
I can probably share a couple gems along. I'm not really not
follow these guys, but there's.
Oh, anyone gonna go?
Are you guys able to hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. I'm not sure if you guys follow these guys, but there is I think it was Justine, and then it was Linus Tech Tips. Like they did
I love Linus Tech Tips.
And what was cool about their competition, it was that Justine being the Apple guru that she is, she used her editing on whatever Final Cut Pro, and then Linus Tech Tips, they use Adobe Premiere, and they did 2 competitions. Like one, who did better, and B, which program did they use. And I thought, and they didn't know who did which one, and I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's actually
a good
cool,
idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'd all 6 make one, and then give it to a panel, a third-party panel, and then be like, who did what? That'd be a blast. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be the sheep here, and I'm gonna say that whenever I did my editing, I used Adobe Premiere, but I've been using Adobe Premiere for a minute, and I'm super used to it. Everything was kind of just second nature to me on there. So I don't have any difficulty with it because I've been using it. I used it 10 years ago, when I was in college, and then when I jumped back into it, it was just second nature to me. There is a lot of bells and whistles to it. A lot of the stuff is not needed. Every once in a while, you'll be editing and you know what, this is actually this would actually be really cool. I did a lot of unboxing videos, and editing was always the most fun part to me because you're putting it together, you're doing the slideshows, you're doing the transitions, then you just add the beat, and you're like, yeah. And then I always found editing the most fun part for me because once everything's getting closer and closer to getting done, you're starting to see more of your finished product. That's always been awesome to me.
Yeah, I agree with that too. QA, you said you had some hidden gems you wanted to let us know about. I got you. I didn't want to make sure you forgot about that.
I actually forgot.
Damn.
I'm trying to think of what I was gonna say.
Oh, they're hidden. They're hidden gems once again.
Oh, it's just it's stuff that I think because I'll be honest. I haven't been making content anymore. I kind of just straight up abandoned my channel back in January. Just been super busy with the baby and everything. But to be honest, I'm gonna be redoing my whole channel anyway, and it's kind of because for one point it was mostly about retro tutorials on how to mod stuff, and but I'm actually moving away from that completely. I'm gonna rebrand the whole channel.
Great, dude.
Yeah, but I kind of hit a wall, and I think the thing was for me, I was doing a lot of stuff. I was kind of I wasn't really doing it because I wanted to do it anymore. I was kind of doing it just because I felt like I had to. For example, company sent me like I think the last video I put up was about a retro handheld. They just sent it to me for the purpose of review, and it's great and everything, but to be honest with you, my passion has always been, along with editing, but like writing and stuff. So I've kind of been getting into like more like documentary style videos, like looking at videos that are like documentaries. So I'm like, you know what, I've always wanted to do something where I could just write about like stories, like about things that I've always found interesting, like the fall of Sega Saturn, or why did Sega fail at the end when Dreamcast came out and it just couldn't stand up to the PlayStation 2. Stuff like that. It's just kind of been intriguing to me. So I think I'm going to start leaning my channel towards that kind of stuff, like kind of like storytelling, incorporating some of like my opinions towards certain games or consoles and things like that, and moving away from tutorials. Because I think, to be honest, part of the reason why my channel started to take off at the beginning only was because I was I don't want to say I was cheating. Okay, maybe I was cheating a little bit, because I would go on to ETA. I don't know if you guys ever heard of ETA Prime.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So ETA Prime is like, he's got like 500,000 something probably subscribers, a big time tutorial YouTuber for like doing mods and all kinds of reviewing systems. People were always going on his videos and they would ask questions to him, but he was like such a big YouTuber that he wasn't answering like everything. So I was kind of going on there and looking at people's questions. I'm like, oh, I know the answer to that. How about I make a video about exactly what they're asking? Because I know how to do that. And then I think that's kind of started like kind of filling in the gaps of whatever the bigger YouTubers. So I think it was kind of like, if something was a popular topic, but it was like something that, for example, like Monster Hunter is a big thing right now. So like, say if I found out that there's a way to mod Monster Hunter and to create a custom monster killer or something, I don't know, but nobody else has done that video. So a lot of people are talking about Monster Hunter, but they're not talking about that specific part of Monster Hunter. Then maybe I can make a video on that, because I think the thing is, right now for me, I kind of hit a brick wall, because it's like I started kind of doing stuff that a lot of other content creators started doing, like, so my videos started to kind of fall by the wayside by a lot bigger YouTubers. Like, I'm here competing with these bigger guys, and I was like, I think I'd be more happy doing something I've always wanted to do, and like start doing like documentary style YouTube videos, since I love to edit. Like, for example, I'll shout him out. And I don't know, he's from England, but he's one of my favorite YouTubers. He's got like 4,000 subscribers, and he does some of the most awesome documentary style YouTube videos on Tomb Raider video games. Like, he covers all the retro Tomb Raider games, and his editing skills are just second to none. In my opinion, he should have 200,000 subscribers, but he's so good at what he does, and he could tell he's just passionate. He doesn't care about subs or like numbers. You could tell he just likes to do what he does, and he has a lot of fun with it, and it shows on camera. And I think that's okay. I'm digressing a little bit, but I feel like that's kind of what content creating should be about, not so much about numbers, because it's like, yeah, you get to a certain point of, okay, you hit the 1,000 mark, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's celebratory. But then it's okay, now what? What's next? And it's kind of like, okay, now I hit 5,000. Okay, what's next? Now I hit 10,000. At the end of the day, I think what's more important is being happy. You hear about content creator burnout, and that's what happened to me back in January. I got burned out. Like, I haven't made videos since. It's like, I think you just wanna, what makes you happy? Like, I'm gonna shout out JCon from I know CHRONOZ, you'll know about JCon. He just started a Monster Hunter YouTube channel recently, and he just hit the big 100 subscriber mark. So shout out to JCon for that. But he's having a lot of fun just playing Monster Hunter and streaming Monster Hunter. And it's just, you could see the passion that he has. And I think that's more important, to be honest, than anything, to gain a following that way, to be honest.
What you were saying, what you were saying earlier about cheating, going to a bigger YouTuber, going through the comments, and we like to call that a remix.
Yeah.
And you're also doing a service. You're not like straight up copying his videos. Yeah. You're filling in the gaps that he's not hitting. you know, and making your own video out of that. You know, there's zero wrong with that. You know, that's not it's not cheating. That's not.
I've done it.
Yeah, that's just being. You have the foresight to be like, well, this is what the people want, and some of these people aren't getting that met. You know, and you're filling in the gap for them.
Yeah.
You know, so that's actually perfect. You know, because there's a lot of good ideas. There's a lot of big ideas. There's a lot of bad ideas. You know, people watch a lot of content, and then, like you said, this guy gets so big. You know, you can't answer, you know, 600 to 1,200 comments, 10,000 comments. You know, and once you said you hit that 1,000 and you hit that 5,000, then what? You know, it's like, and then you got PewDiePie, who has like 65 trillion subscribers or whatever. He still comes out with a video every day. It's not like he's got, well, I got the 65 trillion subscribers. I can just lay back, you know? You always got to come up with new ideas, you know, and find your audience and what they like. You know, of course he does, you know, a lot of, hey, let's laugh at these funny videos, you know. I mean, and then he just does that like every day, you know, and it works for him. So you got to find what works for you, what you enjoy to do, and then it takes time to find your audience.
Oh yeah,
you know.
It's funny. Oh, go ahead.
I also want to comment on like how you felt you're cheating. I think because like I felt like I've taken advantage of. I've done that before, where I've taken advantage of what Awakened Bacon was saying. Like there was a kind of a gap, and I know Katetz has done this as well because we talked about it. It was like there's a gap like in the Pokemon community where like there is a specific type of breeding method that wasn't being like really discussed because like it was done in like previous videos, but wasn't done for the current generation. And I know like I saw like I went to a lot of like chats and whatnot. There's a lot of people asking questions about it, like, hey, how do you do this, and this? And then like, you know, someone gave me the secret and I made a video off of that, and that ended up being one of my best videos that I uploaded onto YouTube.
I like Black said, I did the same thing where it was Mario Tennis Aces, where I was watching Abdallah Smash. I watched all his Nintendo stuff. He was trying to figure it out, and people were asking me. He was like, "Well, his thing is this to this," and after the video, when people were still asking, I'm like, "Well, let me try to figure it out myself." And then when I figured it, it was like how to do the trick shot without spinning meter. And I'm like, "Oh, it's just this. Oh, it's easy," and I did it. And like Black said, like that's like my best video because it was something that people were looking for, not just knowing how, but to get a clear instruction on how to do it. And I was that person to do that. And I've had people say, yeah, this is like the best one. I've been to everyone else's and they're just not as clear as you are. Because when I was doing it, I recorded it first and then I talked over it. So while I was talking, you see it happening. And I'm like kind of saying, yeah, you just, you know, flick it this way or go this way or go, and you just do it. And then I said, I'll even show you can do a full match with it. And I did a full match without using meter doing trick shot. So yeah, just like, you know, Awaken said, you know, it's not cheating. Like when you said that, I said, oh, that's just an opportunity.
Right.
It's an opportunity, you know, to not just for yourself, but to also say, okay, well, these people are not getting those questions answered. Okay, I can do this to help myself. Or it's like, okay, I'm doing this to help people, but it's also to help myself. And there's nothing wrong with that because because it's a win-win. People get that question answered, and you get those people who needed that question answered, and they keep watching videos. Like till this day, I'm sure people still watch your video on how to do this, or my video how to do, or Black's video, because it's something that was needed, not something that was felt like, oh, I'm just gonna do it for content. You know, it was needed, and what you did, you helped everybody get that question answered. And going back to what you said earlier, saying that, you know, I just want to do the things I want to do. Me and Awaken had a conversation about that yesterday. We were just like, you know, that's what it should be about. It's just people, content creators doing what they want and not feeling like they have to do something. Because once you feel like you have to, then it takes away the why you were doing it in the first place, because it's like you're only, because at a certain point it's like, I'm only doing this for numbers. I'm not doing this because I enjoyed it. You know, there's videos that people ask, "You gonna do this again?" I'm like, I didn't even enjoy it when I did it then. So
yeah,
like
and plus that need is being filled. You know, it's being filled by the hundreds of thousands of other people that are doing it. You know, it's like the game or the content has to have some sort of popularity or following, and they're out there. You know, there may not be hundreds of thousands of them. There may be only 600 or 250, but you're making content for those people.
Exactly.
You know, and they're going to appreciate that. You know, it's like you don't have to pick your game off, or, you know, if you are a game streamer or a game content like Let's Player, you don't have to go to the front page of Twitch and pick out of the first 3 rows and be like, well, it's got to be one of these 3. You know, it doesn't help you. You know, it doesn't help your cause, and, you know, it doesn't fuel your creative need either. You know, so I feel like that's a lost cause sometimes. Chuki?
Yeah, you have anything, Chichuki? Before I was gonna say mine, but you have anything about, you know, anything on your experience on content creating or anything like that?
Well, I mean, for the most part, I was just listening to what everyone has to say, but at the same time, it's like, I mean, I used to do YouTube all the time, and then I bailed on it because I was streaming on it a couple of times a week, and then they changed what their streaming services and everything was going to be, and with the copyright and things, and I was you know, this is useless. I'm not going to stick around. I mean, now I just use YouTube for content, posting stuff daily, but it's like Pokemon playthroughs and things like that, and minor stuff like that. But I mean, Twitch is the same way. I mean, they're going the way of YouTube with their copyright and things, and it annoys the hell out of people, and they think they make decisions that are good for people, and they don't, which throws people out of how they do things. I mean, do I look at the front page on what to stream? No. I mean, but I'm sure there are plenty of people who think that they're going to gain content followers by doing the first few pages of Twitch, but it doesn't work. I mean, it can create something for like a week, but they're not going to stick around. I mean, I have a small following on Twitch, but they don't. It's just a small group. It's hard to grow anywhere on Twitch or on YouTube, and you ask people for advice, and they tell you the same things: if stream what you like, do that type of stuff, and have a niche and things like that. But why I started, I don't know. I mean, because it was fun to do at the time, and now it's kind of like a side thing that I stream multiple times a week. So,
you know what's weird? Like, okay, so kind of like what Chuki just said, it's like you get a certain audience, you play a certain style or kind of game, but sometimes, like one time in particular, I just threw on Soda Pop Dungeon and played that for like 3 days. And I was getting like a small audience of people that had never been on my channel before, you know, that stuck around for those 3 days. Like, oh, I love Soda Pop. Have you Soda Pop Ninja? Really? Or Dungeon?
Yeah, it's like, what?
Yeah, I'd never heard of it. It was like a free game. It looked kind of cool. It's an idle game, you know, so you just kind of like feed the points into it, and the game plays itself. And that's what I was streaming. And I was getting an audience, you know, a small 5 or 6 person audience that I've never seen before, coming in and being like, hey, this is an awesome game. I'm like on round 3, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, super cool. Because, you know, it's a neat game, but I'm just kind of sitting here letting it happen, you know? So it's audience for everything, like I said. But
yeah, I agree. And we all know who comes to what, you know, like we all know which viewer comes to what. I have a handful of people who come to Smash Bros. And who come to, like, when I used to do Smash Bros. And I did Mario Maker, I know who comes to Smash Bros. And I know who comes to Mario Maker. But then there's those who I know who would go to anything I do because I see them every single time. And to a point, it messed with me a little bit because I'm just like, why doesn't everybody come to everything? But and I think that's what it is. I think I mentioned this before. I think
are you good at Smash Bros?
I'm mediocre. Like I can get some wins.
No one is good at Smash
Bros. I can get wins under my belt. But I mean, once I hit like elite, where I'm fighting, like I think I was playing Smash Bros the other day, and they put me into the elite class, and I'm like, okay, I know I'm not ready for freaking elite. So why would they just throw me there? So right when I got thrown into elite, I got bodied, and they put me right back to where I wanted. I was like, cool, I want to be here with everyone else. I'm not top tier player like that. I mean, I could win, but I know if there's somebody better than me, I'll do everything I can. But at the back of my mind, I'm like, I know I'm not gonna win because this dude has like 600 hours. I only got 130 hours in this game because I don't play it like that. But
there are 8 people who are good at Smash Brothers. Those are the professional players, and everyone else is mediocre to terrible. That's Smash Brothers.
Those people who are getting sponsored, those are professional Smash Bros. Players.
If they're playing at E3 on the E3 stage for Smash Brothers, then they're the professional ones.
Yeah.
That's it.
But I do get what Chichuki is saying too. Like it's hard to grow a following because either you're contesting with everyone else who's doing it, or the platform who says they're willing to help people are really stomping on the people who are trying to get there. So then it just gets to the point where it's just like, all right, I'm just doing this just because when I first started, I told this story a million times, but I love telling it. It was 2016. I entered Pokken tournament. It was an early access Pokken tournament, and I was like, out of 32 people, I ended up destroying everybody. Out of 32, I ended up winning. I wish there was footage. There was footage, but it's gone now. Like Nintendo took it off their site.
I think I remember you talking about this.
Yeah, and
a while back.
Yeah, and that allowed me to compete in New York. And it was really cool. Like they flew me out to New York. I got to, meet my trainer, who was Rip. I don't know if you guys know who Rip. He's like a really awesome Tekken player. He's a pro. He's a pro Tekken player. Like he goes to Evo. He goes to Evo and
I think I can take him. Give me Eddie Gordo or Jin Kazama, I'll take them.
No, you get Kuma. You get Kuma. That's it.
I like Kuma too.
I already know what you're gonna do with Eddie because
it's too easy.
Eddie Gordo's the same. Every Eddie Gordo's the same.
Button smash.
Yeah, every Eddie Gordo's the same. But he ended up training me, and he ended up winning the first invitational to Pokken tournament. So he ended up training me with Pikachu because I took Pikachu through the first round, and so he used Pikachu during his run. So he ended up training me. He was trying to remember too. We were both trying to just get a hold of Pikachu. Like if I had my skills that I have now back then, I know I would have won the entire thing. I know, because that's how good I was after the game came out. I learned Pikachu. So, and I was like, if I would have had these skills back then, I would have went to the because then they said if you would have won that tournament in New York, you would have went to the actual Pokemon tournament where they have the trading card game, where they hold the trading card game at. You would have went there and competed for like the final whatever there. But I ended up losing. It was a horrible matchup that I didn't know. It was a Charizard that I didn't really pay attention to. I didn't really know the matchup. I ended up losing. But just the experience of being kind of catered by a gaming company to say, hey, we want to fly you here and do this. I thought it was an amazing experience. I got back home. I had some issues when I got back home, and I called my dad, and my dad was like, he told me, find a way to relive that experience again. And I said, okay. And I was contemplating making a YouTube channel before. And I said, maybe I'll just do do YouTube gaming. This was like in 2016, where I think YouTube gaming was still kind of in concept a little. Like it was like the concept of having a YouTube being a YouTube having its own gaming section. I think it was still in concept.
Yeah,
So
I don't think it had started really
yeah,
big yet.
yeah,
It's the divide between YouTube and YouTube gaming at that time.
yeah. So that's when I started. I started then. It was 2016. So like what, like almost 5 years ago, about 5 years ago. And it was cool. I had my little camera. I had my tray, like the food tray, and I stacked my school books and I put the camera in front of it and I just recorded like every single day. And I had fun with it. And that kind of made me transition to, trying to be more serious. And I got my capture card and I kind of devoted myself to do Nintendo because I felt like that's where I had the most fun, is doing Nintendo. And I did pretty well. The first like 2 years I did really well. And then it slowed down and it picked up and it slowed down, and I just kind of dealt with that and then somewhere in the middle I was trying to figure out why I was even doing this anymore, because there's people who were doing the same thing I was, but they were getting here and I'm still here. And I was like, well, what the heck, I thought about quitting before. And of course my dad is super supportive for whatever I did. And he told me, like, if you're gonna quit, don't just leave. Like if you're gonna, if you're flying a plane and the plane is all damaged up and there's people in it, you don't just jump, you land the plane. So what he meant by that is don't just quit and leave. Do something that kind of lets people know, hey, I'm going to be leaving, but I want to end it off on a good note. And then he always said because if you do that, there may be an opportunity that you didn't know about by just leaving in a way that wasn't out of spite or anything like that. And I thought about that, but there's always something that made me keep going and making videos. And of course, 2020 was a year where I kind of was just like, okay, why am I doing this? And I learned more about what being a YouTuber was and what it took. And I kind of told myself, okay, maybe this is not it. And then of course, 2 months later, I'm back, but really kind of like casually, just like CHICHUKI said, he's like, I'm just more casual, like whenever I feel like it. That's how I'm like whenever I feel like making a video or having a video concept in my head, that's when I'm going to do it. I'm not going to be like, all right, let's stream Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 5 o'clock today. Because it's like that's gonna burn people out, burn anyone out, unless you have that gusto to do it. But I was like, I don't have the gusto. And then also going back to the reason why the reason I wanted to do it, I was like, I like working. I would like to work from home doing something I want to do. But then when you think about it, YouTube isn't the only thing that's not the only job that allows you to work from home and have the freedom to work from home. There's other jobs out there, but people jump to this. So I said, okay, what's out there? So I'm studying IT. This is my last year of IT, going to school for IT before I start working. And my dad was like, yo, you can work from home. Just, you can do tech support or this at home. You can still have it, because that's what my dad does. So I'm like, well, shoot, I'm gonna just do that. And then YouTube, because that's what I thought YouTube was gonna be. And I think when people just say, I want to be a YouTuber. I had someone ask me questions. I always ask them, okay, why do you want to be a YouTuber? Why do you want to be a content creator? What's your reason behind doing this? Because you're gonna have to hold on to that for a very long time, and you're gonna be going through adversity. Because everyone who has 500,000, a million to 2 million to 10, they've been through some stuff. Like they've had their character being checked and everything, what they're doing being checked and along that way. So you gotta really have a solid, and I don't mean to be a downer, but it's kind of like the facts, where it's like, you gotta compete, and you gotta make sure that what you're doing is something that's unique. And I think what QA wants to do, I think that's cool, because I love I love watching documentaries about stuff, and then if you're putting your own little twist on it, that's awesome. Like there's a YouTuber out there, I forgot his name, but he recaps comic books or recaps games, and I was like, I want to recap something.
Oh,
He
what
did
is
it in
that
such
thing?
a it's comic something. It's called comic. I think it's a comic
I used to
universe or
watch him quite
comic
a bit.
university or something like that. And he just tells it in a way that's so gripping. Like he's reading it, and it's like a storytelling. And I'm like that's genius. Yeah, like that's genius. So, but yeah, I think just kind of doing it just because you enjoy it will make it easier to say, all right, I'm gonna get up and edit today, or I'm gonna get up and stream today because it's something that you had like I have an idea for Monster Hunter, and I'm looking for people to do this with. It's a really cool idea. I think it'd be really fun. And I think once we get that first video, I'm all over it until it's done. So but yeah, that's kind of my little stick about. And like I said, I've told the story a lot, but you know, I think it still has weight to it, I guess.
Yeah, it really does. Oh, well, who else is creating something, huh?
Yeah. Like let's not end it on my story. We need something happy. What about CHRONOZ, man?
I stopped content creating.
Black's going.
Go ahead.
I stopped content creating back in January, and it was a conversation I had with Katetsu. And he asked me that question, why are you on YouTube? And like I don't think he asked it directly to me, but like he was telling me the story. And then like I asked myself, why the hell am I on YouTube? You know, like am I enjoying it? You know, like what's going on? And then like during that time there was a period where I was like quiet on YouTube because I was out here playing my own games, catching up, relaxing, and I also started a job. Got promoted at where I'm at too, and like that added like a lot of stress into like my life. And I'm like, I think to myself, like like I'm not having fun doing this. And then Katetsu also told me, and he actually just said this not too long ago, like don't leave on a bad note. Let people know what's going on. And that's what I did. I got on there. And I was like, guys, like I just can't do it anymore. Like I'm not having fun. And I feel like that's not fair to you guys when there's a lot of other like people who are shiny hunting Pokemon and having a good time doing it, and you should go to those people because they legit enjoy doing it. They get on here like 5 days out the week, and I haven't been present in like the last month. So I left on that note, and like I did one stream after that, but I honestly I haven't been back. I haven't been back on YouTube since. But that doesn't mean that I've been completely quiet in my life. I haven't been in the video game circle on YouTube, Twitch, or anything. I haven't been watching it as much as I usually do. And like now I'm just like going and like I'm lurking on everybody's streams now. But I started an Instagram, and like it's just based off of my car and like all the modifications I did with it. And I joined that community recently, and just give me something to do. And like it doesn't require like as much as YouTube did. And like I'm not trying to please anybody. Like if anything, like I'm just networking with other people and just saying, hey, what's going on? Like I'm not thinking about like like what can I do to get monetized, what can I do to get views, like what can I do to be better. Like I'm just here like, yo, this is my car, and like I have like a little like a big sticker like on top of my windshield that says Hyrule. I'm like, look, this is my car. I play Zelda. I play video games, and yeah. So like I haven't been doing the content creating or anything like that. Like when I come on the podcast with with you guys, like this is me on YouTube now. And I enjoy this a lot more because like like I don't have that pressure anymore. Like that stress is gone. And I'll be honest with you, like I can't be more happy. The only thing I do miss is like I had a lot of people that came through, and they're really cool people, and I still see them popping off my Discord because I still get the notifications for that. But honestly, like I've been chilling, enjoying my life, spending time with my wife, working on my car, meeting other people that drive like similar cars that I do, and it's been more relaxing.
You know what I miss about your channel, man, the most, and it's like something I always held dear. You know what I miss about your channel is getting that shiny rough raft, man. I mean that getting that shiny lichen rock, both versions. I miss that so much. I miss getting that shiny. I miss getting those shinies. Cause I show up, people like, oh, Kotetsu, yeah, just cut in front of everybody, and I'm like, cool. And I get like my first catch. Pokemon. What was that one Pokemon that you had, and you're like, dude, you're the only one who caught it. No one else has caught this yet. And you're like, every time you come on here,
was it Metagross or Metagross?
Yeah, I think it was, because you're like, you're the only person who caught it, and I've been on many times. I've caught it, and he was like, no one else has caught it yet. I was like,
it's like, yeah, it had like a 3% catch rate.
But no, I thought what was cool about your channel was that, because I know there's someone else that I watch who does shinies, but it's kind of I mean, it's a first come first serve, but I think with you, like, everyone has an opportunity to, always got an opportunity to get it. If they couldn't get it the first time, they can come back. If they wanted multiples, I think I did it one with Lycanroc. I got like 6 because I was like, I want 3, and I'm going to give 3 to somebody else, so they can get all the evolutions just like I did.
Yeah, and like it was like, I'll be honest with you, like, now that we're talking about this Lycanroc, it took me a lot of effort to get that Lycanroc.
Yeah.
And the reason why is because, like, in this specific Pokemon den that it was in, it had like a 2% chance of it being the Lycanroc that it can evolve into all 3 forms. So like it literally took me like that's another thing, like, about, like, like, especially when I was doing like my den streams, like, if I was like looking for like a more of a rare Pokemon, like, I spent hours before the stream trying to get that Pokemon so that I can stream it.
Yeah, and like I said, I gave props to everyone who can do that, because I don't have the patience. I'm like, who's giving away shinies? I'm just gonna go. That all my shinies are been given to me. I've never caught a shiny. I'm not ashamed. All my shinies I have been given to me. But that's cool. I thought what you did was really cool. Like, it was just like what Awaken said earlier. It was something that was needed, and you provided that to people, and I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, Geek also brings up another point, about
the RPGs.
My Black Ass Gamer days. Like, I love RPGs too. Like I was playing these RPGs that were like that nobody knew about, other than Geek.
Yeah. I remember you were playing the Legend of Dragoon, and I'm like, I haven't seen that game in so long.
I love that game so much. I loved it so much.
That game. I made PS4 and I stopped.
They never made a sequel or anything after that. I'm like, why? That would have made so much money, because I know so many people. I've never mentioned the Legend of Dragoon to anybody who knows what it is. It's not like, I love that game.
Yeah, I missed that game. It was a good game.
I'll be honest with you. Like, my mom told me about this game. My mom was like, yo, you need to play this game. I'm like, I don't play games, but I know you gonna like it. I'm like,
when your parents tell you to play something, take heed, because that never happened. That's how my dad was. My dad was like, that's how he got me into Star Fox. My dad's a
love
huge
Star Fox.
Yeah, my dad's a huge, like, anything simulator, like any plane or helicopter. I think he still is into that, but back then he was really big into it. So he was like, yo, I have this game called Star Fox. And I was like, oh, okay. And I played it, and I loved it. I loved it so much. And then when Star Fox Adventures came out, I was like, Dad, Star Fox Adventures came out. He was like, oh, okay. And then he left to go do something, came back, and he had it. And I was like, yo, I played that. I beat that game like 5 times.
Star Fox Adventures is the one that didn't take place in the fighter jet, right? They were like down on the ground.
Yeah, it was like him. You actually get to control Fox, and you go to these different planets.
Yeah, I didn't dig that one so much. I played Star Fox.
Amazing.
I played Star Fox when I was a kid, and really enjoyed it when I was a teenager, and I was good at it. I was really good at it, and then I played it on the Switch on the SNES collection.
Oh yeah.
Ate shit Like it's, I could not. I was just doing so bad.
Oh man,
Like, this is not the game I remember.
yeah, I love Star Fox Adventures, man. I beat that game like 5 times, just because I loved every single playthrough of it. Geek with Crystal, and then they had what was the other one? It was like Star Fox Assault.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there was Star Fox Assault on the DS,
which was okay.
I think.
No, it was a
Was it
GameCube. Star Fox Assault was GameCube,
It was
and then
GameCube?
yeah,
Oh.
Star Fox Assault. Yeah, it was the one that kind of mesh you being in the R wing, and then there's times where you can actually go down on you'll be on the ground floor doing most of the battling, but you can still jump in and out from the R wing to the landmaster on Star Fox Assault. And then the 3DS one, there was like 2. I think it was like, wasn't there like 2 games on the 3DS? I know one was a remake of the first one, but then I thought they had another one on the 3DS.
Yeah, I didn't know Star Fox Assault was on the GameCube. I must have passed that one. Probably because Adventures was such garbage that I just
Get out of here.
Wasn't it
That's
called
awesome.
like Star Fox Adventures on Dinosaur Planet or something?
It was
like
That-
that?
originally
it was
Dinosaur
originally that.
Planet, and
Yeah.
then they threw Star Fox characters into it, and
Yeah.
it just doesn't work.
Yeah, so then they just called it Star Fox Adventures. After that, I seen like the rough beta of it, and I was like, yeah, that was pretty rough. I'm glad they kind of shifted it a little bit from what it originally looked like, because I thought they said it was supposed to come out for 64, and then they just, when GameCube was being developed, they kind of held off on it, and we got it for GameCube on there. But I love that game. I don't care what anybody says. I stand by it 100%.
Well, that's fine.
I'm neutral on it. Like, okay, Chuki is definitely taking the stance that
I do
he's
not
like,
care for it.
this game's crap. I played it. I liked it. It was okay.
I
It
played
wasn't
it.
like,
Go
yeah,
ahead,
I
Vic, I'm
played.
sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, I thought you were like,
No,
hey,
sorry.
You played it.
I thought you had. I thought your statement was done. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, I played it. I thought it was okay. You know, I was neutral. What I was gonna ask is, Chuki, did you not like it because it was a bad game, or did you not like it because it wasn't Star Fox?
I think it's
Like-
more so that it's just a bad game, that I didn't care for it, that it felt like the Star Fox part of it was not great with what you got, and that the controls were not the greatest, and
I agree with that.
that it felt like everything was just shoehorned in, that the game was not a very good game, that the dungeon stuff was not very good, and that you had to grind for a lot of stuff to be able to buy everything. And I guess that's not what people think of Star Fox, that you have to do RPG type mechanics in Star Fox. But I tried to stream it a while ago, when I think was on YouTube, and I got about halfway through and I'm like, no, I can't go back to this. This just it's not working. After the second time you have to guide Tricky around, or
Tricky.
Right, Ceratops around, and you die after you don't bring the thing to the right spot because he runs away. It's like, no, that's it. I don't have to play this anymore. I'm not.
Let me ask you this: what was the better game, Star Fox Adventures or Conker's Bad Fur Day?
I've never actually played Conker's Bad Fur Day. I missed it on the 64, and I don't have an Xbox to be able to play it on Rare or whatever. I would still say Conker is a better game than, and I have never played it.
I hated that game. I hated that game so much.
But don't get me wrong. I wanted to like Star Fox Adventures. I really did. I had it on the GameCube, played it on the GameCube when it came out, wanted to like it, never got anywhere in it the first time. And then this was years later when I tried to stream it, and it's still terrible. Look, Tetsu, I'm not gonna shun you for liking it.
No.
How dare you?
Like you
Okay, no. Yeah, I was gonna bring that up. I was like, you won't shun me for this, but you'll give me crap every single Friday about how I had a Stadia in pre-order and I just canceled it. But you still give me.
But you never canceled it.
It's been going on for 6 months.
The fact that you bought it,
so I'm not so
means
so
I get to mess with you.
yeah. So I'm like done trying to prove it to anybody. I know I got my money back. I know I don't have it anywhere in this damn house.
Convenient that you don't have it anywhere in that house.
So yeah, this is what comes with the territory, is me coming in here with Chichuki, and I'm expecting to hear something about Stadia, and I'm like, yeah, I'm ready for it every single.
I think on average it's been every other episode he said something about it.
Well, that's like in my wheelhouse, you know. I gotta swing for the fences, you know, when I gotta mess with you about something.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I think you didn't have anything on me until I mentioned Stadia. You're like, now I have them.
Well, if
everyone else.
If you didn't say that you had lost in that Pokken tournament, I was going to be like, what happened then? That you said if you had the skills now. Like, what happened then? But you had already said what happened. So.
Oh man, I'm loving the shade right now.
Oh,
it happens, but it's all good fun.
Stadia shade, man, all the time.
Katetsu knows I love him.
It's a legend. It's a legendary myth at this point. It's like we know Katetsu has a Stadia hidden somewhere in his room, in his house. It's somewhere.
And you know what I feel? I feel like even if one of you guys come over and like ransack this entire place, you would still accuse me of having to stay somewhere.
I only live 6 hours away from him. He's a short drive. I'll be more than happy to do it. I'm vaccinated. I can roll up in his house, break his windows.
Yep, and then you can pay for him too, because you're making money now. You get a promotion. You got a promotion now, so you can pay for that.
No, they're just going to be like, oh, it's just Southern California.
Stadia makes me so uncomfortable, though.
Really?
I don't know. It bothers me, and I think the thing is that because I you know what, I'll say it. I prefer physical over digital. I understand. I understand the argument to both sides, and like I know that digital is obviously going to be more convenient because you don't have to go and eject the CD to put in your next disc to go and play your game. But I guess for me, it's always been like just looking at the shelf and kind of looking to, prove like a little miniature library to see, what am I going to play today? And I guess I'm okay with people who prefer digital. Like it's never been where I'm going to like, oh, how dare you play just digital? How dare you buy a digital PS5 or the Xbox Series S, for example?
I have an S.
But you have the S?
I have the S and the disc PS5 because that was the only thing that they had. But
see, I have the disc PS5, but so I understand both sides. I almost wish there would be a world in the future where they can just continue to coexist, but I know deep down inside it's just everything's gonna move on to digital.
It's gonna happen. That's gonna happen.
And that's what kind of makes me nervous about Stadia and stuff like that.
You feel the same way. Remember Speedy? He was on a couple month ago. He's dead set against digital downloads. He won't digital download nothing. He gets hard copies, collector's editions, stuff like that, but he will not download a game. That's just,
oh man,
it's like a sin to him.
I think don't you because I've only maybe downloaded one game like 4 years ago for the PS4, and I never since then I made sure I've always gotten digital. I always feel like with digital, like if the internet went down, if the store closes or whatever, you lose access, you could always pop in that physical disc and then play. Granted, I'm from that generation. I think we all are pretty much. It seems like from the generation where we didn't have to worry about all digital. So I guess I understand both sides, but for me, I always love just the security feeling like I could put the CD in. It's always going to be mine. I never have to sit there and worry about it being taken away from me or something happens. You know what I mean? But
I get that.
I understand
I'm
both
gonna
sides.
say like this: when I played, let's say I played a game on, a cartridge disc. I'm in a game, or let's say I was watching a Lord of the Rings movie a couple years ago. This is an example. Like I played this DVD, I enjoyed the movie. It was perfect. Recently, I've been doing digital with all my movies and trying to work this digital thing. So I was watching my favorite movie that I watched before when I had the CDs and I'm watching it. It's great. And then it just pauses for a second. Fuck, man. It's like, are you shitting me? Because it's digital and it won't. It's always going to be a problem with digital no matter what, gaming or movies.
Well, I think here's my thing with that, just so we don't stick on this. If you're like, it's different. Like if you're digital downloading something, like if you buy it and you download it, then that means like, okay, it's going to run exact because you have the data right there. But if you're streaming it, that's different. Then yeah, what it is I'm getting into IT, I'm getting into networking side, so I can talk about, that's, but
He's
what you're doing
qualified,
is,
everybody.
yeah, I'm I don't have it yet. I don't have the license yet. But
then I'm done
I
listening.
But it's just like QA said, having to worry about it, something going on with it. It's just like, because you're communicating to the server saying I want this, and the server's like, it's pulling it back. And if your communication is weak at a certain point, then it's going to buffer, but then it'll correct itself. But it's all about give and take. So that's where that comes in. But if you're digitally downloading something, you have all the data there, then it shouldn't be an issue, unless it's like, okay, I just have to re-download it and then it works. But
I mean,
Yeah.
Kazetsu, I know that, and I've never spent one day in IT school. That's-
but just like I said, I'm gonna go real quick. I like going digital because I like having it immediately. Especially with gaming, I don't go and buy physical because it's like I'm paying the extra $5, and I'm like, well, if I can avoid paying the extra $5, it's really just saving money for me. Like it, and then to not having to worry about losing it, because I've lost stuff, which I don't know how the hell I've lost stuff, but I've lost stuff before. And I'm like, well, it's cool if I have it digital and have everything stored. Like I have so many like external, like I have 2 externals, and it's just so that I can take from here to here without any worry when it comes to doing stuff. But I mean, I'm a digital person just because with gaming, it's just something that I do to save money. And then just overall, it's just what I've been kind of raised, as a digital person. But I will say that I do get the whole having it physical, because it's like you kind of see it and you're like, oh man, like my dad has all the Star Wars, so you like see all from episode 1 all the way before 7 came out, all the way to 6, and you're like, okay, dang, that's cool. Or he'll have like Matrix, or he have all, like, I have some physical stuff here, but I'm all digital. But anyway, CHRONOZ, you changed your name, so that means that you got something coming for everybody, right? In your life of yeah, I mean, you changed your name. That's a statement. That means that you're coming back with something.
Well, oh shoot, I don't want to talk too much, but I guess what happened with the pandemic, like I said plenty of times, when I was just streaming, playing games, I saw that I was not losing my interest with just doing the same thing over again. I wanted to do something different, so that's where the podcast has come. And yes, I'm loving it, and we are all here today enjoying, a great group of guys, and when Ellie's available, and we're all here. This is great. This is like content creation together, where I wanted to involve more than just myself, and I'm glad that I can involve all you guys in here, because it's just amazing in itself. But with the change of my name, I was thinking about what I currently do when I play newer games now, and then where my true love has been with the sketch that I drew, CHRONOZ. And you saw the Prime, you saw the Metroid, Zelda, Mario. So having a lot of something to do with going back into a retro realm-ish kind of feel, where I want to start streaming my retro games, the games I love, the ones I'm so good at. So Chrono Trigger has a lot to do with it. So I'm gonna start streaming Chrono Trigger, but I want to do more of a presentational kind of thing, going back into the retro thing, than always playing. Like next week, I'm gonna do Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I haven't done that in a while. That's just every now and then. But I think the retro world is where I'm gonna be at more than I've ever been moving forward than just the podcast. So there's some things along the way that I'm still brainstorming ideas, but I just think that this whole retro thing is something I want to give more of 100% to. So yeah.
That's going to be my next content creation project. I think I mentioned it last time or time before that, but it has a working title of Gaming History 101.
Oh yeah, you did talk
And
about that.
Yeah, you mentioned.
yeah, so what I want to do, just to reiterate, I'm not quite sold on the title yet, but kind of like what QA was talking about with, you know, his documentary style, what happened to the Dreamcast, what caused it to fail, stuff like that. You know, I want to go way back in history, you know, to the late 70s, whenever it really took off, you know, 78, 79 with the Atari, you know, take a game and just dissect it. Who made it? How many people made it? Why was it made? What, you know, how did it sell? Why did it fail? You know, what was the reason behind it even being made in the first place? You know, and kind of have research, and it's going to be scripted, and you know, have graphics and stuff that have to do with learning exactly about a lot of these games that have either been forgotten or maybe not even forgotten, but people just take them for granted, like, oh, they exist, you know, but why do they exist, and who made them, and why did they make them, you know, and what was their success? Did it make any money? Did it lose money? You know, stuff like that. So that's going to be my next content creation project.
I have a couple of questions for everybody before we end off today. I think this will be a cool thing because a lot of us mentioned it, and I think it'll be cool. Just to, you know, I think Awaken and QA kind of talked about it before, but besides that, is there any, like, just, we all have our channels, we all do our things, but is there anything outside of what we do on our channels that we would like to dip our toe in? And I'll go first with it, just if anyone does it. I've always wanted to do like short films. I've always had the notion to do short films, like short films that are like action oriented. I've always wanted to do it, really base it around like the Kamen Rider and Super Sentai thing. And I was talking to some people, my friends yesterday, and I was like, I can do it. I just have to have the determination to look for other people who are willing to do this with me. You know, like there's a group of people out here, Geeks of LA. If you guys heard of them, there's Geeks of LA. I think it's Danny something. I forgot his last name. I met one of the other guys who work with him, and I was like, yo, man, I didn't pitch it to him, but I just kind of met him and we were cool and da-da-da. And I'm like, man, that kind of gave me the little bit more of, man, I really want to do this. So I think short action films based on those two things would be really cool, that I would love to do. I have some ideas, but I think it'd be really cool to do on the channel, just to see how the reaction is with that.
Mine's animation. I would love to do some more actual storytelling through animation. You know, some short, you know, animation films with unique animation styles. You know, not like. Does everybody know? What's that YouTuber? Odd Ones Out, or the Odd One Out.
Mm-mm.
I think he does Odd Ones Out or something.
Odd Ones Out. He does the same little like kind of marshmallow looking character, and he tells stories while it's being animated. You know, but to do something way different, you know, a different animation style, and tell like a more of a serial story, you know, that goes over several, you know, 10 to 15, 5 to 6 minute episodes, you know, but just more anime. I would love to get into animation. That's what I want to dip my toe into right now.
That'd be cool. That'd be really cool. Anyone else?
I was just trying to say real quick. You guys know I went back into my photography stuff, and I have a separate channel for it. I might be doing some type of presentations for maybe to showcase some of it on, but then I'm not sure, because Gamerz Room is not meant for what that's a totally different subject. So, you know, I guess I'm just gonna find a way to show you guys on Twitter, but not maybe directly on the channel. I already did my first photo shoot last week with this young lady, and it was amazing. We did go through a sign that actually said no trespassing, violators will be prosecuted. We still passed it. We went through it. we challenged ourselves and was like, fuck it, let's do it. So we went through this spot and we found a good spot for her, and we were taking lots of photos. And so I'm gonna be doing a lot of crazy stuff. Like I said last week, I'm gonna have another friend that's a horseback rider, like a professional, and I want to do more with that. And but I also want to create, let's say, videos of some of my favorite songs I grew up with, but to bring in a female character involved in it to involve her emotions. Something like I want to do it, but I want to make a real professional video out of it since I got the new cam and stuff. So that stuff will be in the other YouTube channel that I haven't really told you guys about. But it's already there, it's sitting there. It's just I got to make sure I create this throughout the summer. So I would say towards the end of the summer, I'm gonna unleash all the works I've got, and like Black, I'm showing him like this is what I did last week. Just I took the young lady out, went to the parks and things like that, and it's awesome to do something different. Than gaming is awesome, but I also want to involve maybe a little gaming into some of these people that I take photos with, and have them wear a Gamer's Realm T-shirt or just anything gaming involved with it, but then also do stuff that's non-gaming with them. So to see, it sounds exciting, but that's where now that I got more time to do things. So.
In case you guys wondering if there's not an episode of Gamer Runs next week, it's because Mr. Switch fucked up.
Right. He trespassed. He trespassed. He's telling everyone, "Oh, I'm part of the Gamers Realm," and then everyone just takes their affiliation out of Gamers Realm. Like, oh, we're independent. We're independent. We just come here every Friday.
I wasn't on episode 61. Nope, that wasn't me.
It's like that didn't exist. What are you talking about? That shit.
All right, I was there, but I got paid. But I told that money was legit. I didn't know he did illegal stuff to get that money.
It's all that hot photography money.
Dude, that area we went to was condemned. We looked around, no one was around. I was like, what? Let's just go. Boom, went in there, and it came out, survived it through. But that's crazy.
Well, that's good. Admit the trespassing. That's fantastic.
Yeah, on live, being live,
on camera,
live,
and have photographic proof that says you're there. Yeah,
I'm glad nobody got crushed.
Yeah,
glad nobody.
I got it right here. No one's
like, oh yeah, the area.
This discussion is for.
We ran right through.
This discussion is for educational purposes only.
Yeah. Or you know what? Say allegedly, so then they can.
Allegedly.
I allegedly saw this sign that said "Don't cross here."
Allegedly, yes.
And we allegedly went over there, and I allegedly took pictures of what happened.
You got no proof. There were no cams. I mean.
It's a cautionary tale, kids.
No cams. Yeah.
Since we're on the topic of content creation, it's so funny. Like, so if you guys have like if you ever go on like one of like those modding like site channels where they show you how to mod something, but it's kind of like not the most legal thing to do, they always put in the description for educational purposes only, as if that's supposed to like.
Or I know they're full of shit.
Or they say, I can't show you what the games are where I got them, but here's the game I got from this site. It's like, really? I can't show you where I got it, but here's the game I got, so I'm gonna show you how it works. It's like, really?
Or like they'll say like it's created by blah blah blah, and like you try to Google blah blah blah, and this person doesn't exist.
Yeah. It's like,
That's
really?
great.
Like, people aren't stupid.
Yeah, I see that with a lot of Nintendo stuff, by the way.
Anyone else on the topic? Is there anything
Yes. And there's two things actually. If you guys ever like go onto like my actual like YouTube channel, Black Pokemon Trainer, and like you go to like the very first video that was posted on February 11th, 2016. It was a video of me doing a bunch of modifications to like the car I had at the time, which was a Honda Accord. I put like underbody lights. I put I switched out the headrest, or the headrest on the front seats to headrests that included like a TV on them. I changed out all my bulbs, added a subwoofer and all that. And like, I was hoping like to kind of continue that YouTube channel and like have like coincided with an Instagram. And I kind of like when I moved back to Sacramento, like that was back when I was in the wine country. When I moved back to Sacramento, like that just died. and kind of like what I'm doing right now. Like I have an Instagram page for my car right now, and like I'm kind of like I'm networking now. I'm talking to people. Like I'm continuing what I did with my last car, right now, because I feel like I feel like I now have like the means to actually do it. Another thing that I actually wanted to do that I dabbled in a few times, but I never like really published anything. I like modding like classic games because it's a little bit easier than modding, Cyberpunk, for example. And so like I modded. I'm not sure if you guys ever played Wolfenstein 3D.
Oh yeah.
I've heard of
Yeah,
it.
I modded that. I got through 4 episodes or like 4 like scenarios, and like I never like finished it. Like I created like my own levels from like essentially from scratch. I downloaded sprites from online, and like I had like my own story going. Like I was actually doing like a really good job on it. And I never finished that. I never finished with that. That was back when I was in like middle school, high school. And then like I have a project going on right now, and like I'm going on to it on and off, but I'm modding Super Mario RPG, like one of the one of the ROMs that I have, and I've been doing that for like the last year or so. And I'm like I'm not like changing like the actual like format of the game. So like everything you do in the game is still going to be the same, but it's going to have like different characters, and the storyline is going to be like a little bit different, but it's going to be like going like the exact same direction as like the original game. And I did that a couple of times. Like just being able to mod a game is something like I want to do. I don't want to create a game, like that's too much for me. I just like modding classic games.
Nice. Very cool. And some of those modded games like turn out to be really cool. People, get them and they're more popular than I wouldn't say more popular than the actual IP, but they gain their own following.
Yeah.
People really like.
Yeah, exactly.
I also want to touch on this too. Have you guys all heard of the infamous Sonic 06, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I was talking about. We were just talking about it the other day. We were talking about it the other day
There's
too.
someone who's recreating the game from scratch using, I think they're using an Unreal Engine.
I think I've seen that.
Oh, I love the Unreal Engine.
I've seen that.
Like the game itself like runs the exact same, but it's without all the glitches and flaws. And like 4K capabilities, so it's for the computer. And like it's not the story, it's just the levels.
Wait, yeah, isn't it called like Project 06?
Yeah.
Is it Project 06? I have that. Yeah, it's actually really good. Plays really well. I haven't, besides getting used to the slippery Sonic, other than that, like everything else is solid.
Speaking of that, we didn't touch on the Prime 2D game that I think some of us played.
Yeah.
I liked it. I thought it was super good, a really good love letter to what should be an actual thing, but it was done so good. The music was great. The graphics were awesome.
You know what's crazy? This was a project that started 3 years ago. You wouldn't think about it, but I saw something by their YouTube channel popped up in my recommendations, and you see Prime 2D and you see the time when it was up, it was like 3 years ago. And I was like, wow. All right, so you guys been, putting in, that development time into this. And I'm pretty sure, pandemic probably had something to do with whatever happened, but to kind of delay the release. But the game was really good. I did a video on it and it was actually really fun. My fingers did hurt while playing that because it's stupid. You can't press Y to W to jump. You have to press space bar, and it's like really hard to.
I'm kind of used to that. Where I've been doing a lot of PC gaming, like slapping the space bar to jump is kind of second nature.
For me, it would have been different if it was up, down, left, right, and space bar, because then that's different. But at one point you have to have the aim is with the mouse, and then the moving is ASD and then spacebar. So when you're when you're fighting a boss, trying to do that you strain your like the web of your, I call them the web of your fingers. You strain that.
You
strain that a little.
A controller would be nice, but the keyboard didn't kill me too bad. The one thing you had to get used to is keeping, like you said, you aimed with the mouse. So if your character walked past where your mouse happened to be, then you'd be looking backwards, or aiming backwards, which was kind of difficult. So you kind of had to do it all in unison,
But it works though. It works
It did. It
so
worked
well
really
with everything. It
I
worked
liked
really well.
I liked it a whole lot.
So we're about at that time, right, where we're gonna start signing off and saying our goodbyes and farewells and all that. So
Don't go.
So on this topic, I thought it was cool. I'm glad that we were all able to talk about this and kind of give our own personal opinions about it, and how we started, what we feel about it now, and what we've done to kind of get to where we are, to get to this point, where we are now. Does anyone have any last words? I had a second question, but I was like, that's not a question we can ask. A lot of people kind of answered it. Everyone kind of answered it.
I have kind of a plug.
Okay.
I am doing what kind of plug?
We're running out of time. The Oscar music's playing. There's no plug.
We don't have time for that.
Yeah, 1 minute.
Okay, hold on. Crackedgaming.com. I'm writing for them now. I did my first article today. I'll be doing about one article a week on their website. Crackedgaming.com. It's a bunch of really cool guys, and I'm kind of going to be their retro indie game guy. So if you want more of this, you can read my articles there once a week.
Hey man, that's
Cool.
awesome.
Nice.
Thanks.
Nice.
Check that out.
Awesome. Anyone
Thanks
else?
for telling us now. You didn't tell us before.
That just happened. Well, I mean, it's been a process, but I just got in today.
Nice.
Oh, real quick,
Anyone
guys.
else?
Next week. What's next week, guys? What do you guys know?
Gaming
what's
night.
next
I don't know.
It's
I was
game
gonna
night.
say I don't know. I was waiting for him to say it. I don't
It's
know.
game night.
What's next
It's
week?
gonna be the year anniversary of this podcast, so let's enjoy that for next week.
Is it the actual year anniversary, or is it the date that we just decided is the year?
It is
It's
it's the 13th.
It's
So it's
like-
the week.
It's like Christmas.
Because
Be our
I know we
Christmas.
couldn't, because what, the 16th is like a Thursday, and I know people are busy and we do podcasts on Friday, so
Well, it's
I guess
it's on the 13th. What's the 13th on?
when's the anniversary? The 13th is a Friday, isn't it?
No,
I think it's
No,
like-
that's
Oh,
like
so it's
a
the
Wednesday.
16th. Oh
Wednesday
yeah.
before.
Okay,
No, it's
so
gotta
the
be on a
anniversary
Wednesday or
the anniversary is the Tuesday, but we're saying that week is the anniversary week,
So
so
with
we're
that
gonna
Friday,
have
we're
game
doing
night
game
on
night.
the 16th. Yes.
Right.
1 year anniversary kind of thing. So we'll figure out something why we play games. So yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be awesome to play. We're playing. What are we playing again?
Among Us
Among
on
Us.
game
Among Us,
night.
Yeah.
Among
So
Us.
I haven't downloaded it yet.
You
Lies.
do. You have it. We know you have it.
Lies.
I was gonna be like, that was a
Fido,
month ago.
Yeah.
okay. Chronos' relationship with Among Us is like Kotetsu's relationship with Stadia, only the
yeah, I
opposite.
knew you were gonna say that. I knew you were gonna say that.
Yeah, I'm just gonna be like, yeah.
I was waiting
what
for
am
it.
I doing? Am I
The
killer?
second you
What am
said, like the second you said my name, I was like, "There's no other affiliation right now that he can bring up besides this name."
Well, notice I wasn't calling you out on it this time. That
It's just the
now
opposite.
Awaken just knows now how to mess with you.
It just felt right.
Doesn't
Okay.
phase me. Doesn't phase me. I just wait for it now. I'm just waiting for those shots to come. They don't come. It means I did something wrong. That's right.
That's gonna be the T-shirts that we make. Kotetsu
The
has.
new
That'll be
Stadia.
cool. I'll wear it.
Well, I would hope
Next
you
week
would.
on Friday,
Oh,
that'll
word.
be the thing we're doing. The 1 year anniversary game night. The Thursday before, I'm just doing a separate on my own thing, Mario Kart. I haven't played Mario Kart in a while, so I figured just what the hell, just do it. And everyone's invited, but I'll do more of I'll start tagging more everybody. That's Thursday what I'm gonna do.
I can spank you tonight if you want to. Mario
Mario
Kart. Mario Kart.
Oh my
I
god.
don't have enough controllers. Oh yeah, I do.
Hey,
I have a question for you guys. What are you guys doing for episode 64? Because I feel like that's going to be a milestone as well. If you guys know what I mean.
yeah.
Episode 64.
I think I
Yeah.
kind of get where you're going with that.
It'll depend on if anything actually happens before then.
Yeah.
I get where you're.
Talk about our 64.
Yeah,
Nintendo
64 memories. We'll bring
That's
back
not
the
bad.
64 memories. We'll think about what games we had,
Alright,
and
you
we
gotta
want
be
to talk
involved,
about our
dude.
favorites.
You gotta be involved.
I'll be involved, but we have to make sure we spend a minimum of 10 minutes on Ocarina of Time.
We can.
Of course,
Yeah.
of course we
More,
have
we'll
to.
probably be talking more about that.
We can
Of
probably
course we have
fill up
to.
the whole podcast
Or-
about
or
that,
you
but
know,
there's other
yeah,
N64 games that are out there.
You know what? Let me go first because I've never finished Ocarina of Time because I have a vague memory of it back when I first played it. So I'm gonna tell you my stuff, and then I'm just gonna let you guys talk about whatever.
Hey man,
Well,
you got
I
3
never
weeks.
finished Ocarina of Time.
I have
I
weird.
told you my story. So
Yeah, that's right. You
I
did.
got
Okay,
it.
you did
Yeah, I
have
told
to.
you my story with it. So
You
that's
were
why
afraid of it or something?
I was intimidated. There was intimidation behind the game. I was really young and I didn't understand games like that. So that's what kind of intimidated me from the entire series until I played Wind Waker. And it made me say this is cool. And I played Twilight Princess, which made me just fall in love with the series in general. So one day there'll be a day where I actually go back and play Ocarina of Time from beginning to end and just tell you guys my experience with it. I'll do it.
See that surprises me because like Ocarina of Time didn't intimidate me. Wind Waker did. And like the reason why Wind Waker intimidated me, it was the dungeons alone. It was like you go to the dungeon, you get into like the first room, you get into the second room, and then like the third room was just like this huge room that's like the center of everything, and there's like 9 puzzles within that room itself. and like when you go into that room, it pans out, and it's like you see like all this crazy stuff happening,
You're
all
like,
these
yeah, I'm
monsters
done.
everywhere.
I'm
And
done.
I'm like, oh hell no.
Yeah, I'm done. Yeah, that's my story. But I'll one day, if I ever just say I'm gonna do this, I'm just gonna play Ocarina of Time. Hell, I may even like broadcast it on Discord so you guys can come watch me play it, and then I'll just play through it and I'll talk about whatever at the end. There's gonna be
Sounds like a good
people who wanna
time.
That might be
part of that.
something.
A lot of people probably want to be a part. I have people who played Ocarina of Time, who love Ocarina of Time, who probably want to be a part of that as well, besides here. But anyway,
Like
we are. Oh, no, go ahead.
I was gonna say like once you finish it, I think you'll enjoy it overall.
I think I will. Like I said, I love Wind Waker. I loved Twilight Princess. I absolutely love Breath of the Wild. So I love Minish Cup. I keep saying that wrong, but I love that one too. That one was fun. But yeah, I'll do it one day. But anyway, that's it, you guys. We don't want to go too long. We don't want to make another 2-hour live stream because we would have.
We're on a 2 week
sure
we're on a 2 week streak of like over 2 hour.
Yeah.
podcasts.
Yeah. So thank you everyone for coming. This is an awesome topic. It was a surprise to have QA here. It was really cool. We have some awesome.
Thank you guys for having me.
Always a pleasure.
There's some awesome people in the chat as well. Just continuing to the conversation in the chat as well was really cool. And this is episode 61. Hope you guys come back for 62. Hopefully you guys have a wonderful night, and we'll see you guys next time.
Absolutely.
Take care, guys.
Peace.
Have a good night. Take care. Bye-bye.
Okay, we're off the air.
I'm just saying, y'all better